Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and this is Top 5s, the only weekly Top 5 show in snowboarding. This week's episode, we're going to look at the top 5 things you shouldn't buy used. That's right, summer's coming to an end slowly, snow guns are going to fire up, and there's going to be deals to be had on old equipment. But this is the stuff you do not want to buy. You especially, right there, looking right at you. Don't be buying the shit used. I don't care how cheap you're trying to be. No. Number 5. Base layers. Might seem like a good idea. Maybe get in that ninja suit until you realize there's a shred stain down the ass. Then you're just sitting there going, what the fuck? Top of the fact, most of the people that would sell their base layers are like a roaming crab shack. I know all you snow carnies have crabs, and chlamydia, and gonorrhea, and incontinence. I'm just telling the rest of the world this. No one wants a used fucking base layer. Bad idea. Seriously, why would you think that's a good idea? Think of the stains. The stains! You want to buy someone's base layer that's been in it 100 plus days a year? And who the fuck sells base layers used? I've seen it with my own eyes. Most people are questionable. That's like buying a bikini with a blood stain on it. I've seen that happen. Seen it at a shop I worked at. Number 4. This should be common sense, but gloves. You tell me you want to stick your hand into someone else's hand sweat? You might have heard of athlete's foot, but there's athlete's hand out there. That shit'll just eat you off. It's like that scene from The Fly where Jeff Goldblum vomits on that dude's arm and it just like disintegrates. That's what it's like. It's gross. You don't need that in your life. That's disgusting. On top of the fact, you can buy last year's gloves on clearance, but I'll do a whole top 5 about like things you can buy used and like the things you can buy on clearance that are almost a guarantee. Used gloves though? No! Number 3, a helmet. You really should not be buying used helmets. You don't know if it's ever had an impact or not. This is your brain. You literally have one of them. It's not like me, where you can function with one kidney and a missing spleen and a bunch of other organs that have disappeared over the years. Probably because you did some really questionable things in Vegas. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. You got one brain. You need to protect that motherfucker. And a lot of you people are getting stupider by the year with your head injuries. You're not like me, 23 concussions and still going strong. Some of you are like 2 hits to the head and you're borderline like a high-functioning retard. Why would you buy a used helmet? 1, they do have a life expectancy. 2, you don't know if it has had an impact or not. Oh, but it's multi-use and it's rated for multi-impact. Yeah, that's like small little hits here and there, like you dropped it like in the morning and by your car and it fell on the ground. Not like you hit a fucking tree and it's got a dent in it. No, you don't want to buy a used helmet. Number 2, a season's pass. Most of those are not transferable if you actually read the bylines in it, but I always know someone that says they bought a season pass from someone that got injured in the preseason and they're just going to wing it. It's a felony charge if you get caught with a season pass that's not your own. It's fraudulent. I know it's stupid. I don't agree with that policy. I think they should be transferable. But once they're transferable, like one transfer, that's it. Like, oh, you got injured, you can transfer it over to one person. That's it. And there should be a transfer fee. But no, don't be buying people's fucking season passes used. I don't care if it's January, you got fired from the mountain, and now you got no way to go, but someone's selling a pass, full season pass on Craigslist, and you're gonna buy it. That's a felony charge. You don't need that shit. That's dumb, and the only reason you're probably comprehending buying a used season pass is because you bought a used helmet and hit your head. No, you don't need that type of just clusterfuck in your life. You don't need those complications at all. You don't need it. I've seen it happen. I know people that have tried to use other people's passes and gotten popped. It's never worth the hassle because on top of the fact that you took their pass, you both get flagged and then you both can't shred next year. It's not worth it. At all. No, so don't be buying used season passes. And to that one guy that's gonna leave a comment saying it's cool, go fuck yourself. I don't really care. Honorable mentions. Goggles. Now, some of you will say, no, I can buy used goggles. There are exceptions to this. That's why it's not fully on the list. But if someone's goggles are crusted over with like sunscreen and they've been baked and caked and just destroyed for a whole season, no. Top of the fact, you never know if those crabs headed north from their used base layers. You gotta watch out for that, man. Crabs spread. And ain't nobody got time for that rolling seafood shack on their face. You don't want it. We don't want it. It's just not sanitary. Also, insoles. Why the fuck are you buying used footbeds? No. No, no, no. You don't want a used footbed in your boot. Like, no. I don't care if you're like, oh, my buddy and I have the same feet. You don't. No two feet are the same. I've stressed this over the years enough. I'm going to stress it again right here. You don't want a used footbed. They're like 30 bucks. Go buy some new ones. It's fine. It'll contour to your foot. You'll be good to go. And the number one piece of equipment you should not buy used? Boots. I don't know why I have to say this year over year, but it's fact. You don't want used boots. 1, they smell. 2, they're broken in for someone else's foot. 3, their lifespan is already severely diminished. Don't be buying used boots at all. If you're over the age of 13 and buying used boots, you should be throat punched. Just like a fist right in the throat. No, get new boots. Just get new boots. It makes your whole experience better because if your feet are miserable, you're miserable. And don't try to say, well, it's broken in and it'll fit my foot. No, it's broken into that person's foot. No two feet are the same. Everyone's got their own set of issues. You don't want used boots. Top of the fact, that's how you get athlete's foot, and then you spread it all around the communal shower you're living in, all you snow carnies, because I know it's the snow carnies that fucking buy this. Next thing you know, we got a hoof and mouth disease going around because one of you weird freaks like sucking on toes. I don't know why, and then you're hooking up with everything, and then it just spreads, and suddenly there's an AIDS epidemic. I don't know how it happens that way, but it does. This has been Top 5s, and I've been your host, Avran LeFeber. I mean, I'll still be your host, but I've been your host. I want you to understand that. Do you agree with my top 5 list of pieces of equipment you should not buy used? Good, because if you don't, you're a moron. Anyways, did I miss one? Leave me a comment down below. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications, that way you're not missing any of these videos we've got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really want to support us and you want to see us just build out what we're doing, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber. I'll see you in another video.